I did every damn thing to prepare for Barbara moving in. David didn't ask if I was okay with it. He didn't care. He just announced it like a done deal. Mom's moving in next month. That was it. No discussion. Not one word about how that would change my life. And the prep. Every box, every ride from Queens to our home in New Jersey. All on me. I drove back and forth for days 60 miles one way. Gas money burned fast. My back ached. But he didn't lift a damn finger. Just sat there, smug, like I owed it to him. And you know what really pissed me off? When I told him I'd sent all my things to my parents' place in Pennsylvania, that I was moving out. He looked stunned, like it had never crossed his mind I could leave. Then came that condescending laugh. That nose-scrunching, arrogant little laugh. You, live alone. Please, you sit at your laptop all day. You think you can survive just staring at stock charts, I swear. I could have slapped him right there. He doesn't know a thing. He never asked, never wanted to know how hard I've worked, how much I earn now. Because to him, I've always just been the wife, the one who makes dinner, the one who shuts up and does what his mother says, the one who takes care of everything so he can look good in his pressed suits and boring banker meetings. Well, I had it. I told him straight, I won't depend on you. Not anymore. I'll prove I can live on my own, not just survive, but thrive. Without you. And I meant every word. We've been married 20 years. No kids. His mom never let that go. Always dropping comments like, when am I getting a grandchild? And David, in front of her, he'd go, yeah, we're trying. But the moment we were alone, he'd mutter, kids are a pain. I don't want one. Then he'd roll over and fall asleep like he didn't just kill something in me. Barbara's been living alone since Frank passed 3 years ago. I took care of him when he was dying, feeding and toileting day and night, because nobody else would. She sure didn't, probably too busy criticizing my cooking or calling me too cold for a mother. And now she's here, in my house, because David thinks he's entitled to make that call, and I'm supposed to just go along with it. No. Hell no. I moved my things out. I called my parents. I packed every box, alone, because that's how I've always done it anyway. And when David laughed in my face and said, you'll come crawling back in 3 days, I looked him dead in the eyes and said, watch me. And I left. When we got married, Barbara looked me in the eye and said, you're not really the type to marry a banker, are you? Then smiled sweetly at David and said, as long as you're happy. Darling. That fake, sugary bullshit. She was two-faced from day one. The moment David left the room, she whispered, I give it 2 years, tops. Still, I tried. I smiled. I played the role. I kept quiet. Then came the baby talk, over and over again. When are you giving me a grandchild? Like it was a damn obligation. Like that was the only reason I existed. David, the coward, always played along in front of her. Yeah, Mom, soon. But the second we were alone, he'd say, kids are a hassle. I don't want them. Too much trouble. And I listened. I respected his choice until I realized it was never our choice. It was always his decision and my burden. By the time I stopped pretending, it was too late. I was 46, and having kids now would be high risk. But truthfully, I didn't want kids with him. Not with someone who can't even defend me to his mother. Barbara blamed me. Of course she did. She cornered me in the kitchen once and asked, why don't you want children? David needs a legacy. I didn't even get a chance to answer before she spat, you're cold. A real woman wants a family. And David, that pathetic coward, just stood there and said, sorry, Mom, Emily doesn't want kids. I could have screamed. He was the one who didn't want them. He was the one who shut it down every time I brought it up. But somehow, I became the villain. Every damn time. The more I saw him next to her, the more he looked like a little boy clinging to his mommy's approval. Never once did he stand up for me. Never once did he say, Emily is my wife, back off. No. He just watched as she belittled me, said I was unfit to raise a family. Said my parents must be cold too if they raised someone like me. I swallowed so much for so long, I started choking on it. I hated coming home. I hated hearing her voice in my kitchen, her perfume on my couch. I hated how she smiled at him and glared at me. And I hated how he never noticed or maybe just didn't care. Final straw, When she said, "You'd be nothing without my son," and David laughed, actually laughed, like it was true, like I hadn't spent years holding this family together, wiping his father's mouth, taking care of everything while they sat on their thrones of self-righteous bullshit. They thought I'd break, but I didn't. I got up, I packed, and I left. They sat there laughing at me. Barbara called David her sweet boy like he was still in grade school, then turned to me and said, "Emily, be sure to thank him properly. He's the one putting food on your table." And David, that bastard, actually nodded like it was true. Yeah, who do you think's supporting you? I should have snapped. I should have stood up and thrown my glass at the wall. But I didn't. I smiled like an idiot and swallowed it. Again. But it didn't stop there. Barbara dragged my mom into it too. She looked me dead in the eye and said, "With how awful you are, I can only imagine what kind of woman raised you." Then she chuckled to herself and added, "Well, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, does it?" David just sat there. Didn't say a word. Not even a, "Hey, don't talk about her mom like that." Nothing. He just smirked, because his mom was the queen and I was disposable. I wanted to scream, but I couldn't. Frank needed me. He had that muscle disease, couldn't feed himself, couldn't go to the bathroom alone. And guess who took care of him? Me. Every damn day. While Barbara ran errands or sat on the couch watching game shows, she'd tell people she was exhausted from caregiving. Give me a break. The only help I ever saw her provide was calling the home health aide when I wasn't around. It was all dumped on me. Feeding, bathing, changing. I wiped that man's mouth while his own son buried his head in work emails. I skipped meals, lost sleep, lived in sweatpants. But they still had the nerve to mock me, like I was some useless burden. What pissed me off the most was how David twisted everything when he talked to Barbara. He'd feed her lies, say I refused to make dinner, say I was lazy, say I didn't respect her. Meanwhile, I was bending over backwards just to keep the peace. He lied to save face and threw me under the bus every chance he got. I was done. Done pretending this was a marriage. Done playing nursemaid. Done listening to Barbara insult my family, my work, my choices. I don't care if David is a banker in his fancy corporate job. I make my own income. I've been trading stocks behind his back for 2 years. Quietly. Successfully. I don't need his money, his ego, or his mother's damn approval. That night, after another dinner where I got told to show more gratitude, I made a decision. I packed my things, drove the 1 hour back to my parents' place in Pennsylvania, left the gas receipts on the kitchen counter, around $70 total. Let him choke on that. They can figure out who's going to feed Frank now. It's not going to be me. When Frank died, Barbara didn't cry. She didn't even look sad. She leaned back in that recliner and said, "Well, at least now the money won't keep disappearing." I remember standing there, speechless. Her husband of decades was gone, and all she could think about was how her expenses just got lighter. I was the one who took care of Frank, feeding and toileting assistants every day. Barbara couldn't be bothered. She called a home health aide when I wasn't around, just to make it look like she was helping. But let's be real, she never did anything. She acted like she carried the weight. But it was me breaking my back while she complained about the noise on her TV. I should have known then I didn't belong in that house anymore. Then a few weeks ago, David told me his mom was starting to forget things. Said she might be in the early stages of dementia. I asked how bad it was, and he shrugged. She forgets stuff sometimes. That was it. I suggested putting her in an adult daycare service or getting professional help. Something. Anything. He looked at me like I'd just spit on his mother. "You have no heart," he said. "You're home all day anyway. She should live here. You can take care of her. Take care of her." This woman has disrespected me since day one. Talked down to me. Insulted my parents. Made my life miserable. And now, I'm supposed to play nursemaid while she deteriorates mentally and emotionally right in front of me? Hell no. I told David the first work too. Just because I do it from my laptop doesn't mean it's not real. I'm a stock trader. I make real money, more than him actually, but I never rubbed it in. I stayed quiet for his damn pride. But now, he uses your home all day like I'm some lazy freeloader. He didn't ask me. He told me, "Mom's moving in. It's already decided." Like I didn't live in that house too. like I was just the housekeeper who didn't get a say. I felt my blood boil. All I could say was, fine, because I needed time. Time to plan. Time to move. So I packed her things. Back and forth from Queens to New Jersey. Took me a few days. I spent over $70 in gas alone. Did it all by myself. David never offered to help. Of course not. Why would he? That's just what I'm supposed to do, right? Wrong. Once I moved all her junk in, I moved all of mine out. To my parents' place in Pennsylvania. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just acted like I was part of his plan until he saw I had one of my own. Let him take care of her now. I did every damn trip myself. Queens to our home in New Jersey 1 hour each way, back and forth, over and over, for days. My car's not even that big. I had to cram Barbara's crap in like a game of Tetris. Closet after closet, dusty drawers, broken lamps she couldn't live without. I burned through close to $80 in gas. Not once did David offer to drive. Not once did he ask if I needed help. Because no. Why would he? According to him, it was my job. His voice, smug as ever, it's already decided. She's moving in. Just get it done. And I did. Like I always do. Alone. I could have asked a friend. But I knew how David would react. He would have thrown a fit. His pride couldn't take the idea of other people. Knowing that his wife was doing all the heavy lifting while he sat on his ass, playing the perfect banker. God forbid anyone find out his mommy's got dementia, and he's dumping the responsibility on me. That would have been embarrassing. For him. Not me. Him. So I shut up. I didn't call anyone. I shoved down the bitterness, held my tongue, and just kept going. But honestly, I think something in me snapped a little during those drives. That silence between one drop-off and another. It got louder than anything Barbara ever said. After a few days of hauling her junk in, I packed my own things and drove them to my parents' house in Pennsylvania. My mom opened the door, took one look at me, and said, "You look done." I just nodded. She didn't press. Neither did Dad. They helped carry my boxes in, didn't ask too many questions. Just gave me a warm meal and said, "You did your best. We're proud of you." That night, I slept for 8 full hours for the first time in months. But I wasn't done yet. I went back the next day to finish what I started. Walked into that house like a ghost. David was already home, standing in the kitchen, arms crossed like some pissed-off boss. "Where the hell were you? You didn't even make dinner." I looked him dead in the eye and said, "I'll make it now." But what I wanted to say, what burned in my throat, was, "Who the hell do you think you are? You watch me break my back for your mom. You let her treat me like a servant. You never lifted a finger, never said thank you, never even asked if I was okay. And now you're angry because dinner wasn't ready on time? No. Just no." That night, I didn't argue. I didn't yell. I just played the role a little longer, long enough to clear the rest of my stuff. And then I left. Every time David gets mad, it's the same damn thing. "Who do you think is paying the bills around here?" Like that one sentence is supposed to shut me up and put me in my place. And yeah, at the beginning, it did. I kept my mouth shut. I let him flex like he was the only one keeping this household alive. But he doesn't know. He still doesn't know. He doesn't know that I've been making solid income for years trading stocks. He thinks I just sit on my laptop scrolling mindlessly while he's off doing real work. In corporate banking. I guess that's easier for him to believe. God forbid he realizes I don't need him. That maybe, just maybe, I've outgrown this whole damn dynamic. So when he came storming into the kitchen yelling, "What's for dinner?" like I'd been waiting all day to feed his sorry ass, I didn't even flinch. I looked him straight in the eye and asked, "What do you feel like eating?" Calm. Flat. He got even madder. Screamed something about me not taking him seriously. I stopped listening. I used to chase after him when he left like that. Slamming doors, swearing, stomping down the steps. I'd be behind him crying, apologizing, begging him not to drive angry. And I knew he expected me to do that again. Not this time. When he stormed out yelling, "Dinner with you makes me sick. I'll grab a burger from a diner," and slammed the door so hard the hallway shook, I didn't move. I just stood there. No panic, no guilt, no tears. All I thought was, guess I don't have to cook tonight. I grabbed my car keys and headed for the door. I figured I'd eat alone too, peacefully. Maybe at that quiet sushi spot I like. I reached for the handle, and there he was, right outside the door, like some ghost trying to rehearse his next outburst. I swear to God, I wanted to laugh. He didn't expect me to walk out. He expected me to cry and beg. That's his pattern, make me small, then come back and play the victim. But I wasn't playing anymore. I looked right through him. No words. Just walked past and got in the car. He said I made dinner taste bad. Then he can eat alone for the rest of his life. I'm done sacrificing myself just to keep him comfortable. I'm done tiptoeing around his fragile ego while pretending this house is a marriage. It's not. It's a performance, and I've stopped auditioning. Let him slam all the doors he wants. I'm not chasing after anyone ever again. He just stood there in the driveway like a child who expected to be chased, like I was supposed to run out in tears and beg him to come back inside. And when I didn't, he looked completely thrown off, frowned, huffed, and said, "I figured you'd come after me. That's why I waited." What the hell was that? A 56-year-old man throwing a tantrum like he was 6, and I forgot his birthday. I didn't even answer. Just told him to come inside so we wouldn't be arguing on the porch like trash. Once inside, he kept sulking, wouldn't meet my eyes. Finally, he asked, "So is Barbara's move done?" Like that wasn't his responsibility. Like I hadn't just spent a week hauling boxes 60 miles back and forth in my little Honda, loading everything myself because he didn't lift a damn finger. No help, no thanks. And when I said, "It's done. My stuff's at my parents' place now too," his whole face changed. Shock first, then a smirk, like he thought I was bluffing. He scoffed. "You think you can just move back in with your parents? You can't survive on your own. You just sit there all day staring at your screen. You don't even work." I wanted to slap him. He thinks because I'm not in some office cubicle under fluorescent lights that I don't work. He thinks stock trading isn't real because it doesn't look like his boring banker job. He thinks his paycheck is the only thing keeping this house from falling apart. I stared him down, told him, "I don't need you. I've been independent for a long time. You just never bothered to see it." He laughed in my face. "You're lying," he said. "You can't earn a dime without me. You've only survived because I allowed it." Allowed it? He really believes that. He believes he owns this life we built together. That I was just along for the ride, no value, no contribution, just dead weight. That's the moment it clicked. He never respected me. Not from the start. He didn't marry a partner. He married a housekeeper with a side of ego stroking. I just didn't realize it until now. I told him flat, "You'll see just how fine I am without you. In fact, you won't even recognize me by the time I'm done rebuilding my life." He still thinks I'm bluffing. Let him. Because I'm done being talked down to in my own damn house. I'm done being told my work doesn't matter. My choices don't matter. My voice doesn't matter. He's about to find out what happens when the woman he tried to break finally stops giving a damn about keeping the peace. I looked him straight in the face and said it. "I'm going back to my parents' place. If that means divorce, so be it." And of course, David gave me his usual smirk. That smug little chuckle. "Yeah, right. You'll come crawling back in 3 days, crying, regretting it. I won't be there to help you when you realize you can't live without me." I didn't even blink. Just pulled out the divorce papers I had already printed, slapped them on the table and said, "Then sign them." His jaw tightened, but he signed. I picked them up, got in my car, and drove. Didn't look back. That was it. I left our suburban home in New Jersey and drove straight to my family home in Pennsylvania. I got there around midnight. Mom had the porch light on like she knew I was coming. Dad didn't say much, just opened the door and gave me that look, the one that said, "We're here. You're safe now." For the first 2 days, I ignored David's calls. I needed space. I needed to breathe. But on day 3, I saw he'd left a voicemail. I listened. "Emily, are you still mad? Come on. I forgive you. Just come home." He forgives me. After everything? This man threw divorce in my face like it was a threat. He laughed when I said I was leaving. And now he wants to act like the bigger person by forgiving me? That message made my blood boil. Who does he think he is? Like I was the one who messed everything up. Like I should feel lucky to be allowed back. Let me be clear, I wasn't scared. I wasn't unsure. I wasn't some helpless woman driving home in tears. I was done. He just didn't get it. I'd sacrificed 20 years for that man. Put my own income, my own career, my own damn peace of mind second to his ego. I nursed his father, fed and cleaned up after his mother, did everything he didn't want to do and smiled while doing it just to keep the house from falling apart. He thought I'd never leave because I couldn't survive, because being a stock trader from home didn't look like work to him, because if it didn't come with a suit and tie and a paycheck stub, it didn't count. Well, guess what? I'm surviving just fine. And not only that, I'm sleeping better than I have in years. No one yelling at me about dinner. No one telling me my money doesn't matter. No one telling me I'm worthless unless I'm serving someone else. He thought he'd call once and I'd come crawling back? Wrong. He hasn't called again since. Maybe he finally realized the one who should have been forgiven was never him. And I sure as hell am not asking. It had been 2 weeks since that ridiculous voicemail, "I forgive you. Come back." And then, just when I thought he might finally shut up and move on, the phone rang again. I picked up, mostly out of curiosity. David was crying, a full-grown 56-year-old man, crying into the phone like a 5-year-old who lost his toy. I stayed silent. I wanted to hear what he'd say. That's when I heard it, Barbara yelling in the background, screeching like a damn banshee. Then him yelling back, "Mom, stop, stop it." And suddenly, it was obvious. He couldn't handle her. Of course he couldn't. He never did. I was the one who did it all. Feeding her, cleaning up after her, managing her tantrums, her confusion, her nasty little digs. Now that I was gone, it all came crashing down. He thought I'd run back out of guilt or pity. He seriously thought that would work. "Emily, please," he begged. I was wrong. "Come home. I need you. I can't work and take care of Mom. It's too much. You know what it's like." "Yeah, I do." And when I was drowning in it, he was watching TV and making jokes with Barbara like it was some comedy show. When I needed help, he told me to stop complaining. Now he needs help, and I'm supposed to come running? "No," I said. "I left. I meant it. You're broke without me. Admit it. You need me." "I don't," I said. "I'm doing just fine." He didn't believe me. Of course not. He never took my work seriously. I was a day trader. Sitting at a laptop didn't count as real work to him. But guess what? I've made more money since I left than he has in months. "We're still married," he whined. "A husband and wife should support each other." I wanted to laugh. "When did you ever support me?" I snapped. "You watched your mother tear me apart and did nothing. You treated me like your maid, not a wife." He paused. Then came the part that really pissed me off. "Fine, I'll pay you. How much do you want? Just come back and take care of Mom. I'll write a check." I almost dropped the phone. "You think I'm for sale? You think I'd go back just because you throw money at me?" And then I said it. Clear, cold, final. "I make more than you, David. I always have. I just didn't tell you, because you couldn't stand it." Silence. See, he didn't want a partner. He wanted a servant. And when I stopped playing the part, he panicked. But I'm done. He lost me the day he made me feel like nothing. Now, he's just a man stuck with his own mess. And I'm free. David used to say a woman working outside the home was embarrassing. "It makes it look like I don't earn enough," he'd hiss. God forbid anyone think his manhood was tied to my paycheck. So yeah, I worked in secret, quiet, late at night, before dawn, between chores and Barbara's tantrums, hiding spreadsheets like they were dirty magazines, all to avoid poking his fragile ego. But I made it work. I taught myself stock trading from a friend, studied hard, and turned it into something real. I became damn good. I made real income, more than him, but I never said a word, because I knew the second he found out, he'd tear it down or take credit, probably both. So when I told him I didn't need him financially, emotionally, or otherwise, he lost it. "What the hell were you doing behind my back?" he shouted over the phone. "Stock trading," I told him, cool as ice. "Don't worry, I'm fine. I can live on my own." He begged me to come back. "Please, it's Mom. I can't handle her. She's my mother." "Yeah, but you were better with her. You're stronger." "No, I'm not his damn home health aide." And Barbara, She was never my responsibility. She insulted me daily, treated me like the help. And when she wasn't accusing me of stealing her remote or hiding her dentures, she was smearing food on the kitchen wall. She was David's problem now. Then came the kicker, but I didn't mean the divorce. I didn't think you'd actually go file it. Too bad. I already had. The second he tried to buy me off to take care of Barbara like I was some hired nursemaid, I called a lawyer that day. A friend recommended one, and she jumped right in. I told David, if you have anything else to say it through my attorney. He sputtered some pathetic line about it all being a misunderstanding, that we were still a team, that I shouldn't be so cold. He cried. I hung up. It took time, but I got the divorce finalized. Clean. Done. No more David. No more Barbara. My lawyer told me later Barbara's dementia had gotten worse. She'd been sneaking out at night, shoplifting snacks from 7-Eleven, banned from at least 3 locations. At home, she'd taken to smearing God knows what on the walls, screaming at imaginary people. David didn't want a wife. He wanted a live-in nurse for his mom and a housekeeper to stroke his ego. Now he had neither. And I had peace, my own place, my own earnings, my dignity. Let him clean up his own mess for once. Word is Barbara's condition has gotten worse. She's been eating things she shouldn't, God knows what, and it's causing all kinds of emergencies. Screaming fits in the middle of the night. Neighbors in Queens have started calling the cops. Repeatedly. Cops knocking on David's door at 3 a.m. because his mother's wailing like a banshee and waking up half the building. And he still refuses to get adult daycare. Why? Because in his delusional little world, putting your mom in professional care makes you a bad son. It's shameful. It makes him look weak. News flash, nobody gives a damn how he looks, especially not when Barbara's throwing her own poop at the walls or stealing snacks from 7-Eleven. Instead of getting help, he keeps saying, if Emily would just come back, all of this would be solved. Like I'm some magic fix. Like it's my job to keep his mother from setting the apartment on fire. It's not. It never was. That pride of his, it's pathetic. He used to say things like a man like me doesn't need help, while pushing every bit of responsibility onto me. Feeding, toileting, cleaning up vomit. Now he's the one being talked about like a ghost. Neighbors say he's skin and bones. Black circles under his eyes, wandering around like he's not even there. Honestly, good. Let him feel what I felt. Day after day, carrying everything alone. But of course, I didn't say that. I just thanked my lawyer and kept living my life. I've moved in with my parents. We're in a high-rise condo in San Diego now. Big windows, ocean view, fresh air. My Prince John and Linda were mocked by David for years. Soft to nice. Well, guess what? Those two soft people helped me rebuild from scratch. They're the reason I can finally breathe again. I wake up every morning with sun pouring in. I make my own coffee. I trade stocks at my pace. No shouting. No chaos. No Barbara accusing me of poisoning her dinner. No David belittling my income like it was a hobby. Just peace. Actual, quiet, uninterrupted peace. Sometimes I think about how far I let it go. 20 years of marriage. And it took him collapsing under his own pride for me to finally feel free. But I don't regret it. I don't miss him. Not for a second. He made his choice. He married control and ego. Now he can live with both. Alone. As for me, I finally get to live my life. No screaming. No guilt. Just me, my family, and the sound of waves outside my window. And that after everything, just more than enough.